I'll start this video off with some very exciting news. Results of the latest coffee-related study were posted in the Annals of Internal Medicine. The findings were that people who drank the right amount of coffee were a whopping 16 to 21% less likely to die from any disease-related cause than non-coffee drinkers. This 7-year study was based on the coffee habits of more than 170,000 people ranging in age from 37 to 73. Now, of course, we're all going to die of something, but the study shows that coffee drinkers typically live longer. Not only will you live longer, but you'll also enjoy a healthier life. Now don't go anywhere, because in this video, I'm going to tell you about several more amazing ways drinking the right amount of coffee can benefit your health and lower your risk of disease. I'm also going to share with you why drinking too much coffee can actually put your health at risk, and we'll go over how much coffee is considered too much. Now let's talk about the pros and cons of drinking coffee on a daily basis. We'll start with the pros. If you're a coffee lover, you're going to love this section. First, coffee will temporarily enhance your brain power. This is because the stimulant power of caffeine increases activity in your brain. Need to study or work on a complicated project? Have a cup of coffee for increased motivation and productivity. You'll also have better focus and be more alert. It'll even enhance your memory retention and recall. Studies have shown the improved cognitive benefits of drinking a cup of coffee can last up to 24 hours. Coffee is not only good for your productivity, it's also good for your brain. The caffeine and antioxidants in coffee have been shown to protect against cognitive decline and may reduce the risk of developing dementia, Alzheimer's, and Parkinson's disease. However, it was noted that more research needs to be done in these areas. This is based on several articles published in the National Library of Medicine, an official website of the United States government. This is where I do a lot of my research. I found another interesting fact. In one very small study, about 1,400 people, it was found that people who drank 3 to 5 cups of coffee per day had a 65% lower risk of developing late-life dementia or Alzheimer's disease than non-coffee drinkers. Now, before you go drinking gallons of coffee, more is not necessarily better. Wait until we get to the cons of drinking too much coffee. Based on another report published in the National Library of Medicine, along with many other studies, it was found that coffee helps reduce inflammation in your body. This is because it has several biologically active compounds that have anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties. These include cafestol, chlorogenic acid, phenolic acids, and many more. In fact, coffee is a very complex blend of over 1,000 chemicals. Because of the blend of compounds in coffee, it has been shown to lower the risk of many types of cancers, including, but not limited to, prostate cancer, colorectal cancer, and skin cancers such as melanoma and basal cell carcinoma. Coffee also lowers the risk of liver cancer and decreases complications of cirrhosis, which is a serious liver condition that comes from long-term damage to the liver. Coffee's been associated with lower liver enzyme levels. High liver enzyme levels typically indicate inflammation and possible damage to the liver. According to the National Library of Medicine, coffee drinkers had significantly lower liver enzyme levels compared to non-coffee drinkers. Coffee also helps reduce insulin resistance, along with the risk of developing type 2 diabetes. Coffee has been shown to improve glucose metabolism and increase insulin secretion. It also increases the activity of the insulin receptor in cells. In other words, it makes your body more efficient at converting the carbohydrates you eat into energy. You should also be aware that consuming too much coffee with large amounts of cream and sugar could have negative effects on insulin resistance. Coffee has been shown to lower the risk of kidney disease. It's not fully understood why. More research needs to be done, but researchers believe it's due to coffee's antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties. Coffee is also considered a mood elevator. It makes you feel good. It can help you fight off the symptoms of depression by stimulating the central nervous system. It also causes the release of serotonin, dopamine, and noradrenaline, which are feel-good neurotransmitters. You don't need to overdo it though. For most people, 1 cup of coffee is all you need to lift your mood. If you suffer from depression that doesn't go away, be sure to consult your doctor, as depression can be a very serious condition. Coffee also helps relieve headaches. Caffeine is an ingredient in lots of over-the-counter medications. It can make traditional pain relievers up to 40% more effective. If you're looking to lose a little weight, coffee can help you lose body fat. It does this by increasing your metabolic rate. The higher your metabolic rate, the faster your body burns off calories. Also, if you drink your coffee black, it has almost no calories. And because caffeine is a stimulant, it helps curb your appetite. It does this by decreasing ghrelin levels. Ghrelin is the hormone that makes you feel hungry. Speaking of losing weight, a cup of coffee 60 to 90 minutes before a workout has been proven to increase focus, strength, speed, and endurance. Individuals who lift weights were able to perform more reps or lift heavier weights, which of course leads to faster results. Also, if you're into sports, the increased adrenaline levels from the caffeine can help with explosive movements like those in boxing, martial arts, jumping, or sprinting. If you're not used to drinking coffee, it's best to start with a small amount and see how your body reacts to it. Okay, I'm sure you'll agree that these are some pretty amazing benefits. But before we jump into the cons of coffee, I wanted to mention a point regarding children. It appears that children and adolescents don't get the same benefits from coffee as adults do. According to the American Academy of Pediatrics, children and teens should not drink caffeinated drinks such as coffee, colas, energy drinks, or other beverages that contain caffeine. Now let's talk about some cons and possible side effects of coffee. It's important to know that coffee affects everyone differently. Some people are very sensitive to it, and too much coffee for these people can cause irritability, headache, nervousness, muscle tremors, and accelerated heartbeat. If you experience any negative effects, consider adjusting your coffee intake accordingly. It's important that if you're experiencing any sleep issues or have uncontrolled diabetes, you consult your doctor before adding or increasing coffee in your diet. Another possible side effect of coffee is that it can cause insomnia in some individuals. Other people can drink coffee right before bed without any trouble. If you drink coffee and you're having trouble sleeping, consider stopping your caffeine intake at least 6 hours before going to bed. If that doesn't work, you could try avoiding any caffeine after lunch. Coffee can temporarily raise your blood pressure and heart rate. Researchers believe this happens because caffeine stimulates the production of adrenaline. It's also believed that caffeine could block a hormone that helps your arteries dilate. This effect can last for 3 to 4 hours. If you have high blood pressure or blood pressure that is controlled by meds, ask your doctor if you should cut down or stop drinking coffee. Another possible side effect could happen if you have mental issues, such as anxiety disorder or panic disorder. Coffee could make the symptoms of these issues worse. For people who suffer from acid reflux, coffee can make these symptoms worse as well. This is because coffee increases gastric acid secretion. If you have acid reflux disease, be sure to talk to your doctor about your coffee consumption. Then there is the dreaded caffeine crash. This can typically happen to some people when they have too much caffeine in a short amount of time. While you're drinking the coffee and for a while afterward, you feel wide awake, focused, and alert. But a few hours later, after the effects of the caffeine wear off, you may experience the caffeine crash. The effects of this make you feel extremely tired, like you need a nap. You may also become irritable and find it difficult to focus or concentrate. So why does this caffeine crash happen? Our bodies create a hormone called adenosine. It makes you feel tired and helps you fall asleep. When you drink coffee, the caffeine can block the release of adenosine. So with less adenosine in your system, you feel more awake and alert. Then you stop drinking coffee and the caffeine effects wear off, and the body wants to make up for the missing adenosine. So it pumps it back into your bloodstream with a vengeance. This buildup of extra adenosine in your blood causes drowsiness. These effects can vary from person to person. If you're prone to caffeine crashes, you may be able to take some proactive actions to help prevent them. The first recommendation is to simply drink less coffee or other caffeinated beverages. Don't forget, coffee is not the only thing that contains caffeine. Next, drink plenty of water. A glass of water or something to eat before you drink coffee may slow or diminish the effects of the caffeine. Also, it may help to spread out your coffee consumption. Instead of 2 or 3 cups in the morning, consider having 1 with or after breakfast, and 1 after lunch. And lastly, consider decaf coffee for the first, second, or third cup. You'll still get some caffeine, just not as much. Now let's talk about how many cups of coffee per day are considered healthy. You probably want to drink enough to get all of the benefits, but you also want to avoid any possible side effects. Some studies show that drinking too much coffee can actually increase health risks. So what's the right amount? Well, that's a tricky question because it depends on several things. These things include how much you weigh, medications you may be taking, your sensitivity to caffeine, how much caffeine you're getting from other sources such as tea, energy drinks, sodas, chocolate, and other foods and beverages. All of that being said, a study reported by the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that 6 or more cups of coffee per day could increase your risk of heart disease by as much as 22%. So now we know based on this study, 6 or more cups per day is too much. That same study also determined that participants who were non-coffee drinkers were 11% more likely to develop cardiovascular disease than participants who drank 1 to 2 cups per day. So 6 cups are too many and 0 cups are not enough to get any of the benefits. 1 to 2 cups per day appear to be good for most people. But what if you want to safely drink more than 1 or 2? Well, a common guideline provided by various health organizations, including the FDA and several research studies, recommends a daily limit of 400 milligrams of caffeine. So this would be a maximum of about 4 to 5 cups of coffee per day. Less, of course, if you're consuming other sources of caffeine. So it appears that the optimal amount is anywhere from 1 to 5 cups per day. By the way, I'm not a doctor and this is not to be considered medical advice. I'm just a guy that loves to do research and share what I've learned. So be sure to consult a healthcare professional before making any changes in your diet or lifestyle. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a comment and let me know how many cups of coffee you drink per day, and will you increase or decrease after watching this video. I'll see you in the next video.